Hi, grade 5 students. How are you doing at home?
Good.
Are you using safety measures? Have
Yes.
you tried doing any exciting activities? Well, today we will learn how to make yogurt. Seems quarantine isn't so bad as it seems, isn't it? Because you can make healthy yogurts at home. Well, what is yogurt? You all have tasted yogurt, but yogurt is made by fermenting milk. So why is it necessary for our health? Well, it is nutritious because it provides vitamins, water, protein, minerals, fats, and fibers that enhances immune systems. So now we will see what is our objectives. Next, to observe how milk can be transformed to yogurt without using yogurt machine. So, next, guiding questions. How is yogurt made? So, what materials are you required to make yogurt if we don't have yogurt machines at home? And what is fermentation? So, now let's see what is fermentation. It is the chemical breakdown of a substance by bacteria, yeast, or other microorganisms, typically involving effervescence and the giving off of heat. Next, so now we will show you how we experiment the yogurt from milk and other materials, which is done by Miss Spray, Miss Grace, and Miss Mary. Look, please pay attention to the level of Group A and Group B. So thank you for watching the video. Now I will be explaining you the summary. So we can see that we use two sample container where we try to make yogurt. So we need materials like container, full cream milk, or you can use other milk, almond milk, coconut milk also, according to your preference. And then we need is edible bacteria called Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus. Or you can also use the yogurt that you can find in the market or the mall. And then we heat or we boil the milk in the water in the pan using the pan. And then for the yogurt group, the sample A, we use it to keep in the room temperature. And yogurt group B, We tried to put that in the refrigerator. Well, so the result was yogurt A was successful in the room temperature, whereas group B was not successful in the process of fermentation. But we will figure out what is the reason.
So, so now we will discuss the 7 process of the scientific method of this experiment. So the first process is observation. After we finished the experiment, the observation that we did was yogurt group A was not was successful, which got transformed into yogurt. By yogurt group B, the milk did not get successful and did not got transformed into yogurt. That's what we observed. So the next process is the problem. The problem that we saw on yogurt group A was the milk got more thick and it looks like yogurt. The test of the group A yogurt is sour. If you have eaten yogurt, then you might know how does the yogurt looks right? So the smell in the group A also smells like yogurt. But the yogurt in group B, the milk was thinner and it was not thick, and so it did not look like yogurt at all. The test of group B, the sample group B, was not sour at all. Like it did not test sour that yogurt should test. And the group B sample was kind of smelly because it had some weird kind of smell. The third process of the scientific method is hypothesis. Like now in this process, we assume what was the problem. So the only problem and the only differences that we did to the both container was keeping it in the different place. Like group A sample was kept in the room temperature, whereas group B sample was kept in refrigerator. So the milk fragmentation was successfully done. Maybe it was in a room temperature because we hear people saying and we talk people saying, right? So I think the room temperature helps. We all thought that room temperature helps to keep the bacteria active and helps in the process of yogurt. But group B was in refrigerator, and of course the refrigerator is cold, so which made the yogurt not successful. That is our assumption from the scientific method of making fermentation. So, and we had to search whether the inference, whether the hypothesis that we did was correct or not. So according to the inference, we took some sources, we researched, and the temperature that usually needed for fermentation must be between 25 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. And yes, we were correct because the refrigerator temperature is usually less than 25 degrees Celsius. So if the temperature is too low, the yeast will be inactive. The bacteria that we kept will be inactive. And if it's inactive, then it does not helps in making yogurt. And if it is too high, the enzymes in the yeast will be denatured and will not work anymore. So, we thought what we thought was correct. So in the video, you can also see that we closed the lid of the container so that the air will not go inside, and that was true. That's how fermentation helped to make yogurt.
All right, next experiment is, next process is experiment. And next slide. Okay, so first we prepare all the materials that is required to make yogurt. First we had milk, and then we had bacteria that can form milk, which yogurt, which is lactobacillus, and oh, wait, and then streptococcus thermophilus, and then we heat the pan and put and then we had a container to put the milk. Next. So the step 2 step two was step two for us. eh, Step two for us is we boil the milk in 100 degrees Celsius. Then we let it cool down, the boiling milk, until it gets warm. And then we add those bacteria and we stir the milk. Next. The fourth step we did is we pour out the warm milk in a container to keep it in the room temperature, which is about uh, 25 degrees Celsius. So then we obtain result. As you know, in group A, yogurt was kept in a room temperature, and group B, yogurt was uh, kept in refrigerator. So mm, it was not uh, the yogurt did not form in group B, and yogurt form in group A because we keep it in the room temperature. Next. Next is conclusion. So from this experiment, we learned that yogurt can only be formed when the bacteria is active, and bacteria is active in only room temperature. Uh, Another thing is yogurt forms when bacteria ferment the sugar lactose into lactic acid. So the lactic acid makes the milk more acidic, uh, lower than pH, causing the protein in milk to coagulate. This is our finding. So now we will move to biblical perspective. Yeah, Christian perspective. So we are created by creative God, and we are his image, which is stated in Genesis 1 verse 27. So uh, we also have creative knowledge given by creative God, and we use creative uh, we use that knowledge to be creative and make the milk to yogurt. And a lot of people do this also. And so grade 5, you are growing, so you need healthy food. And let me tell you what, yogurt is also one of the nutritious food that can help your body, and and you can grow healthy. Next. Thank you. That's all our presentation is. This is our references.